now available in paperback and e-readers. Spellbound, a darker shade of black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Recently, your Halle Berry announced that she will never love again. And she made this announcement after her breakup with a younger man who was about 33 years old. Now, this is the fifth or I think sixth relationship Halle Berry has had fail. And when we take a more critical look at your Halle Berry, we can see that the reason why all of her relationships have failed have not been the men she's involved herself with, because many of the men she has involved herself with have decided to move on and they've had successful relationships with other people. So, what the real problem as we look at it with Halle Berry really is your Halle Berry, because the least common denominator as related to all the failures of Halle Berry's relationships has been Halle Berry. And the big problem with your Halle Berry, who has made the statement that she will never love again, is that your Halle Berry just does not love herself. And because she doesn't love herself the same way most black women do not love themselves, she is extremely insecure. And because your Halle Berry is extremely insecure, what she does is she projects all of her feelings of fear and inadequacy on any man that she involves herself with. And because she feels fearful and inadequate about being involved with these men and projects those fears onto those men, she does not trust those men from minute one. And because she does not trust those men from minute one, what your Halle Berry does is she tries to control these men and tries to control the relationship. And she wants to control the relationship because she feels powerless by being with these men and trying to share power with those men. So she wants to control all the power in the relationship, and she wants to control the man in the relationship and place the man in a submissive position. And she wants to dominate that man in a submissive position. Unfortunately, man's nature resists any attempt a female tries to make in an effort to try to dominate and control him. This is something I went in depth in my ebook, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Whatever a woman tries to dominate and control a man, he will take efforts to resist that, because in God's natural order, the man is the leader, the man is the head of the family, and he is going to take a leadership position in some way, shape, or form. And if he cannot take a leadership position, he is going to leave the relationship. And most men wind up leaving Halle Berry because they cannot take that leadership role. And when most men look at Halle Berry, they see a very deeply dysfunctional and deeply damaged female. And the reason why they see a deeply damaged female is because she is deeply insecure, she feels inadequate, and she feels like she needs to control a man in order to have control in a relationship. And that's just not how relationships work. No man is going to deal with a female who is going to dictate to him. And the only ones who do that are either effeminate, questionable, or just simps. And usually, in most cases, most guys who are straight and submit and beta, eventually they're going to get tired of her and walk away, because they're going to get tired of being emasculated. And that's what Halle Berry does to men in relationships. She emasculates them. And again, she does this because she just does not love herself. And she's talking about how she will never love again. Well, she never knew how to love, and she never knew how to share love with anyone else. And what's really sad about your Halle Berry is that at 52 or 53 years old, she has still not learned what her problem is. She keeps making the same mistake with different men, not understanding that she's doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. And as she has grown old, she has never grown up to see how insane her behavior is, because she has gone over the last, I'd say, about 30 years, and through 3 marriages, a baby daddy, and a boyfriend, and still has not figured out what her mistake is or what mistake she keeps making. And people pointed out to her, probably in therapy, probably in mental health, that she does not love herself, and that's why she cannot share love with others. So when she says she can never love again, the problem was she never loved herself, so she could never share love with anyone else. And that's why all of her relationships deteriorated. That's why all of her relationships crumbled. And that's why your Halle Berry is going to be a crazy old cat lady living in the residence of a place called Bust Downtown. And Bust Downtown is a place where we see all these old, washed up females who used to be fine at one time, but because of their self esteem and self worth problems, they wind up living by themselves because they did not have the self esteem and self worth to love themselves, to trust a man, to respect a man, and to appreciate the man that they had. No, they didn't trust that guy to be who he was. They wanted to try to change him into who they wanted him to be. Unfortunately, in their attempts to try to reverse engineer a guy into their ideal person, they didn't understand they were emasculating this man, and that's what drove him completely away. And as they sit there in their bust downtown apartments with their cats, they still never register. And that's again the sad part about your Halle Berry. Nothing has registered. You would think with age would come wisdom, but with Halle Berry, age has not made her wiser, and she continues to still make the exact same dumb decisions and then expects things to change. She doesn't see how her saying she will never love again is just like what she said when she said, I will never get married again. And she doesn't see that the cycle just keeps repeating because she has not taken a moment to sit down and say that the big problem with Halle Berry is Halle Berry, and until she gets herself right, she will never have a relationship that is something that can be significant with someone else, because the big problem with Halle Berry is that she doesn't like the person who stares at her in the mirror every day, but she expects that other person who's in her life to love her in the exact same way, but he cannot love you if you don't love you. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct titles, like Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, and learn many of the issues that lead to black women being dysfunctional, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.